Topping the 10 tonight, a third WNBA championship in just 5 years for the Minnesota Lynx. And what makes it even sweeter, it's a victory in front of a packed hometown crowd at Target Center. The game wrapped up within the last 45 minutes, and now the celebration is well underway. The champs celebrating with a champagne toast in the locker room, as you see behind me, just minutes ago. Sports director Eric Perkins was there tonight to watch the team dominate, and he joins us live with lots to be proud of tonight. Perk?
Yeah, it was dominant, Julie, and you know what? The first two times they won championships, they were on the road in Atlanta, so this in front of the home crowd especially delightful. And the first 4 games of the series were nip and tuck, largest margin of victory, 6 points. But tonight, dominant, like you said. Go to the highlights where Maya Moore, the team's usual star, lays low tonight. Only 1 for 8 shooting. This was one of the ones she made. 5 points for Moore. It's a team sport, folks. Sylvia Fowles, picked up in a trade back in July, is the star. 20 points, 11 rebounds for the 6'6", 30-year-old. And in resounding fashion, the Lynx trounced the Fever to win the title. 69-52 the final. Here's the MVC, the most valuable coach. You know what? Like you said, a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubts because there were a lot of question marks, but this team battled through so much.
Yeah, no doubt we went through some stuff, and it was hard for us, and we just talked about staying the course, kind of shrink our thoughts and don't look outside and don't listen to people on the outside and just focus on one day at a time. Great leadership.
Perhaps the most rewarding of all 3 championships you've won with this franchise?
Well, Maya says this the best. They're like children. You don't necessarily have a favorite, but I got to tell you, this one was really, really hard. Really hard. We went through a lot of stuff, a lot of incorporating new players, injuries, and we just found a way. So I'm incredibly proud.
As a coach who loves defense, you had to be pleased with it.
I told our team, if we play great defense tonight, I promise you we'll win the game, and we did just that.
Clamps were down for sure. Fever scored just 4 points in the second quarter, and the Lynx took over from there. That is the story from the game, but obviously there's a lot more to this story. Bua Zhang has more on the fans' perspective of this giant victory.
Thanks, Eric. And as you saw, by the end of this night, this place was packed and fans were on their feet, and they were happy to cheer on their hometown team.
I'm really excited.
It's no secret whose house this is.
It's the only team in Minnesota that's winning something.
And in this house, help a ride for the biggest task of the season.
I feel a championship coming on right now. I smell it. Let's go, Lynx.
Here you go, bud.
One by one, they filed in.
Please, we love you, Lindsay. You're our Joan of Arc. Let's do this.
Eager to show what it means to be a Lynx.
Go Lynx! Go Lynx! Get it, Cheryl.
Eager to tell you what champions are made of.
They just give it every night. You know, it's a team you can root for. It's a team in Minnesota that wins.
And eager to show you what winners look like.
The Lynx are in the tunnel. They can hear you right now.
It's a great atmosphere. It's so fun to see so many fans here.
We expect them to win, we want them to win, and we'll cheer them on until they win.
Welcome to the Lynx house.
It's fun to have a dynasty right here in Minnesota.
And a huge fan of the Lynx, Prince himself. He was here for the game, and just a few moments ago the Lynx told us that Prince would be playing a private concert for them tonight. So win-win on all fronts. Julie?
That is awesome. Congrats to them. Oh.
Thanks, Park. That's how we celebrate.
You know what? With that height difference between the two of you, he can really make that confetti fall down on you. It's very nice. Thank you, Bua.
Exactly. Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, the energy inside the Target Center, as you've seen a little bit of that, was electric tonight, with fans wearing white to support the Lynx. KARE 11 photojournalist Ben Garvin captured the excitement, and you can see his fabulous photo gallery at KARE11.com. Well, we are one step closer to having Major League Soccer come to St. Paul. The City Council and other key figures voted to move forward with a proposed site in Midtown. Jay Olsted's been following that story and joins us now with the next steps. Jay?
Yeah, Julie, tonight the St. Paul City Council, the Port Authority, and the Met Council all agreed to work together on this project. It's a crucial hurdle needed if the city had any chance of scoring an MLS stadium. Ever since the deal in Minneapolis started to unravel, St. Paul offered up the Old City Bus Depot site. It's owned by Met Council and is already tax exempt. And it's located right next to public transportation. MLS officials have indicated they like the site, but nothing official has been awarded. That said, council members believe they needed to show MLS they're serious.
I think it would make a huge impact for the city of St. Paul and Minneapolis as well. It's very centralized. It's going to be a huge catalyst for business development in that area.
Now, under the agreement, the city would lease the land off University and Snelling from the Met Council. The terms of that lease have not been negotiated yet. Minnesota United FC was awarded an MLS franchise in March with the understanding it would secure a stadium site. The league has given no timeline on when the clock is up, and a decision would have to be made one way or another. Julie?
All right. Thank you, Jay. Well, for the second night in a row, Minneapolis police are investigating a deadly shooting. This time, officers say a man got into an argument with a suspect outside of a church near 30th and Emerson in North Minneapolis. The man shot the victim and then took off. Police say the victim died at the scene.
We will continue this community outreach in this area to hopefully continue to gain insight as to what happened here this evening.
Tonight's incident followed a woman's murder at a bus stop on Lake Street last night. The two had apparently had an argument before that shooting as well. Police have not made any arrests in that case. Earlier today, family members and faith leaders held a vigil at the scene, calling for an end to the violence. Well, investigators are trying to determine what started a fire at a South St. Paul home that killed two young children and their father. The fire started in the garage and then moved to the home. 6-year-old Sang Sem and his sons Alexander and Eric were found inside the smoke-filled home. Tonight, their wife and mother is still trying to come to terms with a tremendous loss. Investigators hope to have more information on the cause tomorrow. Well, two missing Bloomington College students are safe tonight after police say they went missing last Saturday. Bethany Global University officials say Matthew LePage and Jennifer Winfrey called family members tonight after seeing news reports about their disappearance. The two were last seen leaving a bonfire party together in Savage. In a phone call to her mother, Winfrey said that she and LePage were on their way back to campus. No details were released on where they had been. In tonight's Take Care of Your Money report, the Twin Cities just experienced its best housing market in a decade. More than 5,000 homes sold in September. That is a 12% increase over last September. The median sale price, $220,000, an 8% increase over last year. Well, Minneapolis will not move ahead with a controversial proposal that would have changed the way employers schedule and pay their employees. Today, Mayor Betsy Hodges said more work is needed on the proposal. Hodges says she still supports paid sick leave, but agreed to drop the predictable scheduling portion. Advocates say the working families agenda would have helped employees, but many business owners said it was unworkable. Still ahead at 10, Perk is back with post-game reaction from the Lynx WNBA championship win. And a little later, St. Paul's top dogs and their police partners represent Minnesota in a national competition. And Belinda joins us with your full forecast. Get ready for a big cool down for the weekend.
KARE 11 Sports from the Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine Sports Desk.
Head coach Cheryl Reeve was kind enough to join us tonight on KARE 11 News at 5. She told us the difference of this game would be defense. They needed to out-defend Indiana in this game. And oh my goodness, did that happen big time. To the highlights we go where defense really was the story. They hold the Fever to just 52 points the entire game. 4 points in the second quarter. Renee Montgomery with the steal and lay in there. And that ends the third quarter, and the Lynx were rolling. Sylvia Fowles, the story of the game, 20 points, 11 rebounds. She is named the WNBA Championship MVP. What a celebration it is tonight as the Lynx win it 69-52. I mean, what do you even say to them?
It's unbelievable. Everything that I dreamt of, this moment just happened in these last 40 minutes. I'm fortunate to have coaches and teammates like I have, and the fan support group, and this has been awesome.
This team, tell me about this team, the chemistry, the camaraderie, and how important that is to something like this.
We overcame a lot this season, but we never let that step in front of us. Every night we came out and we put up a fight. And to get to this point is just unreal, and I'm loving every bit of it.
They scored 4 points in the second quarter. I mean, after that first quarter, which was sluggish, like the clamps were put down.
That's what we wanted to focus on. We just wanted to clamp down on defense and game 4. We kind of let them get their way, so that was our main focal point tonight. Just go out there and play good defense and rebound.
Get back to the party.
Thank you.
Yeah. The icing on the cake, 18,933 of their favorite fans got to see the whole thing. That's the story here from Target Center. Lynx are the champs. Get ready for the parade downtown. That's sports, KARE 11 News. Back after this with the preps. Really.
Well, just a reminder, the Minnesota cold weather rule takes effect tomorrow, just in time for what could be the Metro's first hard freeze. This means Xcel Energy customers who have trouble paying their bills are protected from service disruption if it would affect their primary heating source. Customers must meet income requirements. The rule, by the way, runs through April 15th. Just in time for that cold weather to kick in, Belle.
That's right. You know, Julie, Friday will be our first frost here in the Metro, which is a tad later than typical, which makes sense after we come off a weekend where it was in the 70s and 80s. We anticipate that we're going to be chilling down into the 40s for highs on Friday, but tomorrow still looks quite good. Let's take a look at the numbers, and congratulations to the Lynx. What an exciting evening in downtown Minneapolis and for that team. How fabulous. We do have a beautiful evening on tap. Just a couple of sprinkles along the I-90 corridor. Otherwise, it is very comfortable out here. There was a lot of prep football tonight as well. Randy and his crew, all the sports guys, are back working feverishly to have those numbers for you and those highlights. So stay tuned for that. We have temperatures in the 40s tomorrow morning, but as the afternoon wears on, we should top out at about 60 degrees. The winds are going to be a big factor tomorrow afternoon. So 62 for a high, 50s in many locations north of the Twin Cities. And this is the wind forecast. Here tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we'll have a northwest wind at 16, at times gusting to 20 miles an hour. And then on Friday, when it's only 48 degrees, we'll have a northwest wind at 12 miles an hour. So that's going to make that 48-degree temperature on Friday, even with sunshine, feel like the low 40s. So grab a jacket. Then Friday night, those winds calm down, and that's what's going to allow us to have that first frost on Saturday morning. So tomorrow, a front slides through. We could get a couple sprinkles up north, but the models have been really hinting at not a lot of precipitation tomorrow across the region, just the wind. So the wind picks up tomorrow at 62 degrees. It's chilly on Friday and 48, breezy. On Saturday, it is gorgeous. The winds are light. A little bit of fall football going on, of course, at the bank with the Gophers playing Nebraska. It'll be 50 degrees that day. And then on Sunday, a little warmer. Look at that, 60 degrees. And it will be breezy on Sunday and a bit warmer as well in the morning at 34 degrees. So there's your forecast for the big MEA weekend and the next 4 days, along with the next 7 as well. We'll toss it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Belle. Top honors today for some of St. Paul's finest. 5 officers and their K-9 partners brought home a national title after competing in last month's field trials. The group beat out more than 70 other teams to bring home the department team trophy. Congratulations to them. A well-deserved honor. Well, coming up in just 1 minute, Randy Shaver's back with tonight's Prep Sports Extra. Stick around.